Right, we are recording this meeting. It's purely so we can put the video on our YouTube channel at a later date, somewhere around about the middle of July. We'll go onto our website, onto the YouTube site, should I say?
Running applications.
Okay, so somebody using NVDA there, I think, or is it maybe narrator?
Yes, mute stop.
Okay, brilliant. Okay, so sorry for the slight delay for the start of this, but I'm sure it'll be worth waiting for. So my name is Gary Eady. I'm the Assistive Technology Specialist at Site for Surrey. Some of you know me and some of you don't, I would imagine. We're going to have a little discussion about Amazon Echo smart speakers, what they are, what they can do. And I've got a few to show you, physically put them in front of the camera so you can see what they look like. And I'll discuss the costs of these devices and how you can get them to work and various bits and bobs. And I'll be demonstrating a few things that they can do. If anyone's got any questions throughout, just shout out and let it be known, or you can always ask questions at the end of my demonstration. It's going to be about 35 to 40 minutes of me talking and demonstrating stuff. If questions come along in between times, it might go a little bit longer than that. And then we'll have 10 or 15 minutes at the end to have a bit of a Q&A and a chat about these devices and how we can get them to do some certain things. Okay, so let's make a start. So, as I say, welcome to the Let's Talk Tech session for June 2023 on the subject of Amazon Echo smart speakers and Alexa. And I'm going to now start my presentation. Okay, so I'm sure lots and lots of people here have heard about Amazon Echo or Alexa, but not everybody perhaps will have one of these devices in their home. And if you haven't, I'm hopeful that by the end of this session, you've gained enough information and satisfied yourself that it is worth having one of these devices in the house. They are really, really fantastic devices. They're just all operated by voice. You don't need to be looking at the device or anything like that. They respond purely to your voice, and the responses are in synthetic speech. And there's a range of different voices. We'll have a look at those as we go along. So what is an Amazon Echo? So an Amazon Echo is basically a speaker which contains one or more microphones and one or more speakers. Usually it's one microphone and one speaker, but the more advanced you go, you get multiple microphones and multiple speakers. The simplest and cheapest device is called the Echo Dot, and this is the smallest device as well, and it looks pretty much like this. This is an Echo Dot. Can everyone see that? Can someone shout yes or no? Can you see what I've got holding in my hand? Brian, can you see it? Okay, so this is the Echo Dot. Pretty small. It's a bit like a tennis ball, slightly larger than a tennis ball. Same sort of shape. On the top of the device, there are 4 buttons. One for the volume up, one for the volume down, one for muting the microphone, so that's turning the microphone off, and another one for setting up the device. Really, the only buttons you're likely to touch on the top of the device are the volume up and the volume down buttons. These are pretty cheap. They're £55, the Echo Dot, and they're available from a variety of places. Argos, Tesco's, Curry's PC World, and unsurprisingly, Amazon. And Amazon's probably the best place to which you can buy one of these devices. So the Amazon Dot, we're going to use one of these for demo purposes later on. The next size up in the range of Echo speakers is simply called Echo. So not to be confused with Echo Dot, just Echo on its own. I don't actually have one here in my range of speakers, but what I can tell you is it's the same shape as the Echo Dot, but approximately 3 times larger, like a small football. Okay, and it's got a little stand on the bottom, and the ball sits just on top of the stand, and that's got extra microphones in it and extra speakers, and it's all in all better sound than the small one. However, the small one has got great sound, so it's not to say that it's not very good sound in the small one. It's just the bigger one has got a deeper bass and it's a slightly louder device. And that device currently costs £89. That's the Dot is 55 and the Echo is 89. So the same shape, just different size. The next device in the range is called the Echo, oh my word, I forgot what it's called, the Echo Studio. I don't actually have an Echo Studio here, but what I can tell you is it's square in shape and it's approximately 8 inches long by 6 inches wide and about 6 inches tall. So it's like a little box, and that is an extremely high-powered speaker. It throws out tremendous sound. I mean, if you have one of those in your home and turned it up onto the highest volume, the whole street would hear it. It's extremely good. If you're into music, it's extremely good for that. That device is currently £219, and I must confess I'm looking at getting one of those myself. I've got 2 or 3 of these Echo devices around the home, but nothing as loud and booming as the Echo Studio. As I say, I don't have one, unfortunately, but they're about 6 inches by 8 inches in a square shape. There is also a model with a screen on it, and I have one here to show you. This is called the Echo Show, and it has a screen and a pretty big bass unit. Now, this bass unit here is similar, but not the same as the Echo Studio, the one I haven't got to show you. So it's quite a chunky device with a screen on it. Now, the screen comes in 4 different sizes. It comes in 5 inches, 8 inches, 10 inches, and 15 inches. And that's measured diagonally from corner to corner. So this one here is a 10-inch Echo Show. And this varies slightly from the others in the sense that it gives you visual output as well as audio output. So, for example, if I asked for a recipe on chocolate cake, it would be spoken to me audibly, but it would also appear on the screen. Similarly, if I wanted to call somebody via Skype, their picture would appear on the screen. So these can be very useful, especially for people who have got hearing difficulties or maybe deaf. They can use sign language to communicate with other friends and family. So this is called the Echo Show, and these start at £89 for the smallest one, and they go right up to £269 for the largest one. This particular one is £259. This is the 10-inch. The 15-inch is £269. So not a lot of difference really between the 10-inch and the 15-inch. But of course, they do take up a little bit of space. Now, this particular one as well, when I'm talking to it and I move around the room, the screen follows me. It's a bit spooky. So it follows my voice. So the screen moves around and it's quite spooky to have around. But it can be quite good if you're on a phone call or a Zoom call with somebody and you're moving around the kitchen or the lounge. It always keeps you in the camera. So that device there, £259. Let's just put that one away into the camera shot. So there are 4 main types of these devices. There are other models which you may or may not have heard of. I'm not going to cover those. The ones I've just mentioned are by far and away the most popular of these devices. There's one called the Echo Spot. I think that might now be discontinued. And there's even a model of Echo similar to this one, but it's got a clock built into it on the top, a physical digital clock built into it. So you will find other models of these devices, but we're just going to concentrate on these 4. So how do you get one of these to work? Well, you need 6 things in order to get one of these to work. And you will have pretty much all of these already in your home. First thing you need is a speaker like this, an Echo device of some kind. Whether you've got the Dot or the Echo or the Show, doesn't really matter. You need one of these devices. The second thing you need is an electrical wall socket into which you plug it in. These run on mains charge only. There's no battery, no portable version of these that runs on a battery. They're on mains only. So you need a device and an electrical wall socket. You also need broadband. I would say that the vast majority of households have broadband in nowadays. If you don't have broadband, you're going to struggle to use one of these devices. Okay. The fourth thing you need is an Amazon Echo shopping account. Now, that doesn't mean to say that you have to spend any money with Amazon. It's purely a username and password that you enter into the app for this. So you need a smartphone app as well called Alexa. And that's mine just gone off. So you need an app.
Sorry, I'm not sure.
Alexa, stop. And the fifth thing is the last thing you need is a smartphone or a tablet. So what happens is you download the app onto your smartphone or tablet, and you use that app to set up the device. Now, if you are not confident at doing that, or you feel that you could do with a bit of assistance, we have a team of volunteers at Site for Surrey covering most areas of the county, and they could come along to your home, install the setup process for you, show you how to use the device, give you a little handout on some of the top things you can do, and leave it to you. They really are quite easy to use. We'll see in a few moments. So once you've got those 6 things in place and it's all set up, you're pretty much ready to go. And I'm going to start by showing you 1 or 2 things these speakers can do. So for this purposes, I'm going to use an old device that I've already got set up. So you can't buy this one anymore. It looks like this. It's like a little ice hockey puck or a small tin of baked beans. So you can't get this anymore, but this is one I've got set up for demonstration purposes. So in order to get some information out of one of these, you need to speak to it. And you need to speak to it by saying a particular word that you choose. There are 4 words you can choose. The words are Echo, Amazon, computer, or Alexa. Stop. And that last one is the one that I've got associated with this device here. So whenever I say that last word, this machine wakes up and is waiting for me to give it an instruction. Now, these devices take instructions or they take requests. So a request is something like, what's the tallest tower in the United States? Or what's the deepest lake in the world? And an instruction is, call my sister in New York, or play a particular radio station. So requests and instructions is what you give to one of these devices. And based on what you ask for, it gives you what it thinks, what you're looking for. So we do a real simple demonstration of this here. Alexa, what's the weather like in Dubai?
In Dubai, United Arab Emirates, it's 98 degrees Fahrenheit with windy weather. Tonight, you can expect mostly clear skies, with a low of 91 degrees. I hope it's okay to ask. I'm just really curious. I'll be able to be more helpful if I get to know your voice. That way I know who's speaking. Is that something you're interested in?
No. Now, these devices, they can be trained to recognize your voice. So let's say there's 2 people in the household, myself and my wife. My wife could set up her voice, and then when she says something to this device, it will say, hello, Wendy, how are you? Or when I speak to it, I'll say, hello, Gary, how are you? Personally, I don't like that, so I didn't bother setting it up. But you can have it set up multiple voices, so it recognizes different voices, then answers you more appropriately. I find that a little bit overwhelming from a machine. So the response of these is quite quick. You're not having to wait ages to get what you've asked for. There are different voices, and I'll go through the voices in a moment. You can turn the volume up and down, either by pressing the buttons on the top, or I can just say, Alexa, turn the volume up. So I've just turned the volume up. Let's play a radio station. Alexa, play Greatest Hits Radio.
Greatest Hits Radio Derbyshire from Planet Radio.
Alexa, turn the volume up. Alexa, volume 3. So I can either say turn the volume up or down, or I can say give it a number. The scale is 0 to 10. If I say turn the volume up to 10, it'll be really loud, and down to 0, you won't hear it at all. So I'm going to leave it on 3 for a moment and stop it. Alexa, stop. Now, some of these radio stations you will need to have a BBC license, TV license for, but that's okay. It's free to, not a license, sorry, an account, a BBC account, and it's free to create the account, and it's quite easy to set it up. Again, if you needed help in doing that, our volunteers can do that for you. So playing Radio 2, for example, sometimes you might ask it and it'll say you need to have the BBC Sounds skill onto your device. Now, skill is just a little computer program, and then it will say, please sign in with your account details. But once you've done that for the first time, you don't need to do it again. So let's try another one here. Alexa, play Radio 2.
Playing BBC Radio 2.
BBC Sounds.
Doesn't sound right.
Alexa, volume 5.
You're absolutely right. It's just like I was imagining. Oh my hand.
That's me on holiday a little bit on it. Good song, Jess Glynn, Hold My Hand on Radio 2. So this morning we had a little
Alexa,
Alcee, didn't we?
stop. So pretty instant. I use my Echo at home for quite a few things, mainly playing the radio, believe it or not, because it was an accessible radio to me. I paid £79 for my speaker about 5 years ago, and I would have paid much more than that for a radio that would speak to me, a talking radio. And of course, I can play music. I can play up to 50 million songs on one of these. That is a subscription, though. That is not free. It's $4.99 a month if you want access to 50 million songs. No doubt you'll ask it for a song and it won't be able to find it, but that's very unlikely. So I've got about 150 CDs at home. I've not touched any of those CDs in years. I just asked this to play music for me, and it does so very easily. Let's have a look at one or two other things I want to be able to do. So I'm a bit of a devil for forgetting to put the bins out on a Thursday night. So I could ask this to remind me. Let's see what would happen. Alexa, remind me to put the bins out in 60 seconds.
Okay, I'll create a reminder to go off in 1 minute. By the way, when your reminder rings, you can snooze it by saying, remind me again in 15 minutes.
Now, what I should have said there was, remind me to put the bins out on Thursday night at 7 p.m. And it would have created a reminder for 7 p.m. on Thursday night. But for purposes of demonstration, I want to get it to play the reminder so we can hear what it sounds like. You can have multiple reminders. You can have more than one. You can have one for the bins, one for mowing the lawn, all these sorts of different things. And it will remind you with a tone, and it will say, put the bins out. So I'm hoping in about 10 seconds time, it says, put the bins out. So let's wait with bated breath, shall we? Oh, it's getting exciting now.
This is a reminder. Put the bins out. This is a reminder. Put the bins out.
Alexa, stop. Okay, so it reminded me there, put the bins out. Now the volume of that reminder can be raised in the Alexa app. There's an option in the Alexa app called alarms and timers, and in there you can choose a different tone and a different volume for the reminder. So if you're hard of hearing, then you can turn it right up, or if you don't like the noise it makes, you can change the sound. So very customizable. Other things I use this for is turning my heating up and down at home. I'm not sure, I'm not connected to my home heating system here. I'm on a different account, but all I would need to do is say, Alexa, turn the heating up, or Alexa, turn the heating down, and it would do that. You do need something called Hive, though, for that to work. So that's a piece of hardware that attaches to your boiler. So clearly not everybody's going to have one of those devices, but a lot of modern homes have got that built into the house straight away. So you can use the speech to do that. What about if I want to find out the next train from Leatherhead? In my case, Leatherhead to Clapham Junction. I'll just ask it, Alexa, when is the next train from Leatherhead train station to Clapham Junction?
Sorry, this transit information is not available at the moment.
Alexa, ask On My Way when the next train journey is from Leatherhead to Clapham Junction.
The next train due from Leatherhead is the 14:32 to Horsham, departing from platform 2, on time, then the 14:36 to Guildford. Would you like to hear more?
Yes.
After that, the 14:40 to Waterloo, then the 14:51 to Victoria, then the 15:01 to Dorking. Would you like to hear more?
No.
Okay. I've sent all of the train times to the Alexa app.
Okay, so it's just given me 5 trains, 2 of which were going to Clapham Junction. That was the Waterloo and the Victoria train go to Clapham Junction. And you know, I found out quite easily there when the trains were, whether they're on time and what platform number perhaps they're on. I'm just going to put this down for a second, because I've got a bit of an arm ache there. So anybody got any questions at this moment in time? Brian, you're normally good for a question. Just,
Will it do the same for buses, Gary?
pardon?
Will it do the same for buses?
I'm sorry, I can't quite hear what you're saying.
You said it'll do trains. Will it do the same for buses?
It will do the same for buses. Again, though, you have to set up, and these devices have got what's called skills that go with them. They're all free. You just download them onto the device, or you what's called enable them. You say enable followed by the name of the skill. There is a bus skill, and it works quite well. However, you need to find out the name of the bus stop you want to go from,
Plus a button.
and then you have to find out what there's a long number on that bus stop, about 15 digits, and you have to find out what those digits are, and then it will ask you what are the digits associated with that bus stop. So although you can do buses, it's not as easy as it might appear.
Okay.
So yes, it is possible, but it's not great, truth be told.
Okay.
I think for trains, it's really good. For buses, not so good. But I can find out telephone numbers for businesses. If I wanted to book a table at the Carvery in Red Hill, I could just say, what's the telephone number of the Toby Carvery in Red Hill? Should we try it?
Yes, please.
Alexa, what's the telephone number of the Toby Carvery in Red Hill?
The phone number for Toby Carvery, located on Redstone Hill in Red Hill, is 01737768434.
Okay, so great for that sort of thing, finding out phone numbers. Ordinarily, you might go onto your computer and do that with a Google or whatever it might be, or a Yahoo search. But this is probably quicker just to get it on this device here. I can also call people. I can call my partner at home. Let's try that. She may or may not answer, but let's just see. Alexa, call ICE.
Calling ICE's home.
Let's see if she answers the phone. That's good. She's out with the dog, I think. Hello.
Hi, I'm
Alexa, stop. So if I've got the telephone numbers on my smartphone, this is able to use the telephone numbers on my smartphone to make calls to. So I can call anybody that's on my smartphone. Or I can even call numbers that aren't on my smartphone by just saying call 01737, etc. And it will call the number. So my girlfriend's just ringing me now on my phone. So yes, calling people is really good. I can set up an emergency contact number on this. And I could say, call my emergency contact. So let's say I fell down in the lounge and I'd really hurt my back or my leg and I couldn't make it to the telephone to call for an ambulance. I could just call this. I could say, call my emergency phone number. That would call the person that I've specified as my emergency phone number, and they could then call an ambulance for me. I can also say call 999, and it will call the emergency services for me. So lots and lots of things you can do with these. I'm going to find a nice recipe for us to have a little look at. Alexa, find me a chocolate cake recipe.
Okay, for chocolate cake, I recommend Easy Chocolate Cake from BBC Good Food. 55 minutes to make, serves 14. What would you like? Start recipe, send it to your phone, or hear next recipe.
Start recipe.
Easy Chocolate Cake from BBC Good Food. There are 15 ingredients. Would you like to gather ingredients, or hear the instructions?
Gather ingredients.
At any time, ask me to repeat, or start instructions. You'll need 200 grams golden caster sugar, and 200 grams unsalted butter, softened plus extra for the tins. When you've got those, just say, continue.
Continue.
4 large eggs, and 200 grams self-raising flour.
Continue. Alexa, continue.
2 tablespoons cocoa powder, and 1 teaspoon baking powder.
Alexa, continue.
Half a teaspoon vanilla extract, and 2 tablespoons milk.
Alexa, continue.
100 grams milk chocolate, chopped, and 200 grams butter, softened.
Alexa, continue.
400 grams icing sugar, and 5 tablespoons cocoa powder.
Alexa, continue.
50 grams dark chocolate, and 25 grams milk chocolate.
Alexa, continue.
25 grams white chocolate. That's all the ingredients. When you're ready, say instructions.
You see, and it gives you, it just reads out 2 or 3 ingredients and then gives you time to go off and gather them. And then you come back and just ask it to continue. It gives you the next ingredients and so on. A bit light on chocolate, if you ask me. All those 400 grams of butter and stuff, I wanted 400 grams of chocolate for my tastes. But really good. And if I ask it for instructions, let's just see what it says. Alexa, instructions.
Step 1. Heat oven to 190°/170°C fan/gas 5. Butter the base and sides of 2 20 cm round sandwich tins and line the bases with baking parchment.
Okay, and so on. So once I've done that, I'll just ask her to continue, and she'll give me the next step in the recipe. So really good if you like your cooking or like to get ideas for cooking. You can get thousands, literally thousands and thousands of recipes and ideas using one of these devices. I can play games on one of these. So one game that I like to play at home is called The Daily Question. Let's see how good that is. Alexa, open The Daily Question.
Okay, here's Daily Question. Hi, and welcome to The Daily Question. Today I have a simple poll for you to take part in. What I want to know is, do you prefer listening to streaming music on Alexa or listening to radio on Alexa? If you prefer streaming music, say A. Or if you prefer radio, say B.
B.
Many thanks for taking part. This really helps me design the future of our business. In the meantime, we have just launched an amazing new Alexa skill that gives you an amazing fact about a new city each day. Check it out today. Just say, Alexa, open destination of the day. That's
Alexa,
open destination of the day.
Alexa, open question of the day.
Welcome back to Question of the Day, your daily trivia challenge. Are you ready to boost your knowledge and start your free 7-day trial?
No.
No worries. The topic is science. It is worth 1 point. What is the process by which plants convert sunlight into energy? Choose from the following: A. Photosynthesis, B. Respiration, C. Circulation, or D. Digestion.
A.
That's right. Plants, algae, and some forms
Alexa.
of bacteria.
Stop.
Play again tomorrow and start your daily play streak. Just ask for the
Alexa.
question of the
Stop. Now, sometimes with these games, they try and get you to sign up for different things. You know, whether it's payments games or just more and more games, and they get a bit annoying. So you keep telling it to stop, and it says, "Oh, by the way, would you like to do this?" No, I don't want to do that. So sometimes you feel like throwing it out the window, but over a period of time, you can manage to get it to shut up quite quickly. So there's at least a dozen games that I play on these devices over a week, and some of them are really good, some of them are not quite so good. I have got handouts on games for these devices. I'll get one sent out to all of you so you can have a go at them if you've already got a device, and if not, you can see what you could be playing.
It also reads books, doesn't it, for you?
It does. I was just going to do that in a second. Well done. Yeah,
Or
it can read books from Audible. Now, Audible books are from Amazon, and because it's an Amazon device, they're trying to get you to use Amazon's book service, and that's not free, but it's okay. You can get sort of like 24 books for £109, or 10 books for £60, that sort of thing, or 1 book for £7. So it depends whether you're an avid reader of books or not, on what you consider to be good value. However, you can access RNIB reading services, which is a free talking book service, and you can access it through one of these devices. I should have it set up on here. Let's see what happens. Now, I'm going to suggest that this may not work because I might need to sign in, but if that's the case, I'll just sign in quickly and we'll get going. Alexa, open RNIB Talking Books.
Okay, to see you again, please pick one of the following: audiobooks, bookshelf.
Audiobooks.
By the way, you can find books by other options. Say shortcut to find out more. To look up a book, say find followed by the title, or list books by author.
Find books by Jeffrey Archer.
Thank you for your request, but we currently don't have any books matching books by Jeffrey Archer. By the way, you can find books by other options.
Alexa, list books by Jeffrey Archer.
I got more than 20 books matching Jeffrey Archer. You can interrupt me at any time by saying Alexa, say the number matching the book on the list. To pick Only Time Will Tell by Jeffrey Archer, say 1. To pick Cain and Abel by Jeffrey Archer, say 2. To pick Hidden in Plain Sight by Jeffrey Archer, say 3. To pick The Sins of the Father by Jeffrey Archer, say 4.
Alexa,
To pick
2.
You picked Cain and Abel by Jeffrey Archer. To read from the beginning, say play. To add this book to the bookshelf, say add. Or choose one of the following: table of contents, or description.
Description.
William Lowell Cain and Abel Rosnowski, one the son of a Boston millionaire, the other a penniless Polish immigrant, are 2 men born on the same day on opposite sides of the world, their paths destined to cross in the ruthless struggle to build a fortune. To read from the beginning, say play. To add this book to the bookshelf.
Alexa, play.
Now, I'm going to leave you with your book. To call me back, say cancel.
This is an RNIB talking book.
Cain and Abel by Jeffrey Archer.
(4136) Cain and Abel. There now follows a brief description of the book. The story of two ambitious Americans, born in very different circumstances, whose lives are completely changed by a chance meeting.
By kind permission of the publishers. This book, first published in 1979 by Hodder and Stoughton Limited, is copyright.
The copyright owners have allowed the book to be recorded
Alexa, stop.
without.
So you
Until
do,
next time.
Alexa, stop. You do get quite a lot
Right.
when you play a book from RNIB, you do get quite a lot of copyright information and who donated the rights to the book, etc. But once you get going into the book, it's really nice way of listening to a book. Just lean back on your settee or in your chair, turn the volume up and listen to your book. Really nice feature. Again, RNIB needs to be set up. It needs to be added to your Alexa app on your smartphone or tablet. But we have the volunteers, don't forget, that can do that for you, or
This might answer your
Alexa,
question.
stop. Or if you're brave, you can do it yourself. I've got some instructions on setting up RNIB reading books on our website, and I'll get that sent out to you after the webinar's finished. So for many people, having one of these in the house, it's not going to be the be all and end all. It's kind of a piece of complementary technology. So if you've got a smartphone or a tablet and maybe a laptop or a PC, you can get most things done with those two things. But what this can do the things that the other things can't do. So, you know, playing radio stations, listening to music, very quick searches for information. This is your go-to device. If you want to do emails, etc., that'll be on your laptop or your PC, and maybe reading Facebook posts, etc., on your tablet or smartphone. So these devices are not going to be a one-stop solution. It's very much to complement what you already have in the home. In terms of doing web searches, let's try a couple of web searches to see how good or bad this is. Alexa, what's the deepest lake in the world?
The deepest lake on Earth is Lake Baikal at 5,387.1 feet.
Alexa, where is it situated?
Here's something I found on reference.com. Within the borders of England, London is located in
Alexa,
the
stop.
southeast.
So it didn't have the intelligence there to, when I said where is it situated, to know that I was referring to Lake Baikal. It just thought it was a new instruction. Alexa, what's the tallest building in the UK?
The tallest building in the United Kingdom is the Shard, which is 1,000 feet tall.
Alexa, how many dollars in a UK pound?
£1 is about $1.26.
Alexa, what's 3/4 of 750?
3/4 of 750 is 562.5.
So, Alexa, spell the word phenomenal.
Phenomenal is spelled P-H-E-N-O-M-E-N-A-L.
Alexa, stop.
Goodbye.
So I can do literally anything. I can ask it literally any question and it will give me an answer. Sometimes the answer isn't what you're looking for, so you need to rephrase it. So if I said, for example, give me information about Queen Victoria, it would come back with answers about Queen Victoria railway station, hotels, maybe public buildings. But if I said, give me information about the history of Queen Victoria, it would then go on to give me information about the Queen Victoria in the 19th century. So I think you'll find that one of these devices can help you in many areas. Now, there are other smart speakers on the market. There is a speaker from Google called the Google Nest or the Google Home. It uses both names. I think Nest is the proper name, but a lot of people call it the Google Home. And it does a similar job to the Echo device, but it's nowhere near as sophisticated in what it can offer you. It's pretty good at doing general searches and playing radio stations, etc. But it doesn't give you the music that you get with the Amazon speakers. It has got very, very few games that you can play on it compared to the Alexa device, skills, should I say. But, you know, I mustn't forget the alternative options. The Google Nest speaker is another option, and they start as cheap as £29.99 and go up to about £200. So, you know, similar, there's different models, different sizes, etc. So anybody got any questions? Let's ask some questions if you've got some.
It's not a question, Gary, but I'm amused by the fact that mine's listened to everything you said and has chimed in.
It listens to everything.
Yeah, but I'm talking about mine, which is in the other room,
Yeah,
has replied to everything you've told yours to do.
I did hear it going off. Yeah. Now, I suppose what I should have done here is I should have changed the name, the word I used to wake it up, as not to interfere with people that already got them. So next time I do it, I'll do that. I'm going to change the word to computer or echo or something like that, and it'll be much less likely to go off. But I did hear yours going off in the background.
I didn't.
But, just goes to show how good these speakers and microphones are inside them.
Absolutely. When I first got mine, it was a gift. I said Alexis instead of Alexa. And I was explaining to my daughter, it doesn't bloody work, that gift you gave me. She said, well, you're not giving it
if you say Alexis or Alexos, it won't work, will it?
No.
It has to be Alexa. So, yeah, sometimes you'll be watching the TV and it will just go off.
Yeah.
And that's because somebody said something on the TV that sounds very, very similar to the name. And so you can turn the microphone off on these, so that will stop that happening. But of course, if you turn the microphone off, you won't be able to use it at all. A lot of people think they're always listening to you. So from a privacy point of view, they are always listening, but they're not recording. Okay, all they're listening for is the word that sets it off. In this case, Alexa. That's all they're listening for. And once you've said that, it then starts recording what you've said and goes away and gives you an answer to that. I'm one of those people that's not too worried about security with these. I think it's very, very minimal risk of it picking up anything, you know, private, unless you dictate it to the machine. You can erase everything that you've said to it, and you can reset your privacy back to the default setting if you want to. I've never done that on mine in 5 years. I don't think I'll do it ever, to be honest. They're very, very good. You can create shopping lists on these. We do that regularly. We add things to the shopping list, and at the weekend we take my phone out, and in my phone, in the Alexa app, I've got a shopping list, and it's all there in black and white in front of me. I don't need to write it down. It's all there in black and white in front of me, and we can go down to the shops and pick up what's on that shopping list. So, you know, it's a very, very good way of making notes as well. Just add things to the shopping list. You can create your own lists. You can have a to-do list or must not do list, and it would add things to those lists, providing you tell it to. I can set alarms. So if I wanted to get up in the morning at 7 o'clock, I could say, wake me up in the morning at 7 o'clock, and it would do that with a nice tone. Or I could say, wake me up to Radio 3 in the morning at 7 o'clock, and I'll get a nice bit of classical music at 7 o'clock in the morning, waking me up. So what you can do with them is quite endless, really. I have a document which outlines 20 of the most useful things that you can do with one of these. And of course, I will send that out to each of you after we've finished. I have quite a few documents to do with the Amazon Echo and what it can do, how to set certain things up. And I'll direct you to our website for the remainder of them. There's quite a few on there. If anybody would like me to create a document on certain things to do with Amazon Echo devices, then just let me know, and I'll try to create one and get it put on our website as soon as possible. It might take a few days, if not weeks, sometimes for me to do that, but that's what I'm here for, to create information for people just like yourselves. Any more questions? Any more observations?
From Susan and to everyone, please can you all have your email addresses in order that we can send out the details alert?
Dennis, have you got a question?
I've got a question.
Yeah.
When you were talking about the book
Yeah.
being read to you, and you paused it because you were ready to go to bed or something, does it
Yeah.
remember where you paused it?
It does. So when you get up in the morning or next time you want to use it, you say open RNIB Talking Books, because that's the name of the skill or the program. And as soon as you do that, it will say, welcome back. Would you like to carry on reading your book from where you left it?
Oh, clever. Okay, thank you.
And you just say yes, and it does that. Okay.
Lovely.
Good. You can also say to it, you can say next chapter, previous chapter. So you can skip forward and backwards. There is a limitation really on how you can navigate the book, because that's not controlled by RNIB, that's controlled by Amazon. And I think Amazon are in talks with RNIB to see if they can make it a bit more flexible in what you can do in terms of navigating the book. But yes, to your original question, it will start from where you left it. Okay. In fact, I'll just do that here. Let's just see what it says. So I've stopped it during the introduction. Alexa, open RNIB Talking Books.
Good to see you again. Would you like to continue playing Cain and Abel by Jeffrey Archer?
Yes.
By the Royal National Institute.
And it's just started from where it was.
Book Service, England.
No unauthorized broadcasting.
Alexa, stop. So it picked up exactly where we stopped
See
it.
you soon.
Yeah.
Do you actually have to say Talking Books the next day?
Yeah. What happens is you have to create an RNIB Reading Services account. So you do that online. There's a particular website you go to, and you just fill in a little form. It's like your name, your date of birth, your email address, and a couple of other pieces of information. And it sends you an email to the email address that you stated. And then it says something like, click the link below to finish off setting up your Reading Services account. So you do that, and it takes you to the Reading Services webpage. You have to then answer a couple more questions and then do finish or done or submit or whatever the option might be. And at that stage, you're ready to go. But when you say to your Echo device, open RNIB Talking Books, it will say to you, go to your Alexa app and open the message that's just been sent to you, because it sends you a message and you have to link your account to RNIB Talking Books. So basically you need to put your email address and your password into the Alexa app. So that creates a link between the Talking Books and your device. You only do it once and that's it. You can then ask for books.
Yeah, I wasn't sure if it would, you had to differentiate between, I listen to a lot of Audible books on mine. I wasn't sure if it would need that distinction between an ordinary Audible book and the. I
think if you said play my books, it would default to the Audible books.
Yeah.
So you need to say open RNIB Talking Books first,
yeah,
and that differentiates it.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. And that's free, the RNIB Talking Book service. It's got about 40,000 books that you can choose from, and it's growing by about 600 or 700 a year.
Well, that should see me out then.
Yeah. Music, by the way, is really, really good. $4.99. If you're the sort of person that buys a CD every month, $4.99 a year a month. $4.99 a month is next to nothing for all that music you can think of.
Point. You're on now.
And you can go back to, if you're of a certain age, if you're in, say, your 80s or 90s, whatever it might be, you can go and play Vera Lynn or whatever it might be. And it's got loads of stuff there, all the old time music, ragtime, swing, and all that sort of stuff. And we have that at home. Subscribe to that at home.
Yeah, I love mine.
I know.
Now, if you wanted to experiment with the music, you could say, I'm going to say the word beginning with A. You could say, play songs by Tom Jones, for example, and it would say, you don't currently have a subscription to Amazon Music. Would you like a 30-day free trial? Okay. And if you say yes, you'll get 30-day free trial. And after that 30-day, it will start taking $4.99 out of your account with Amazon. However, you can cancel it any time between day 1 and day 30. So but you have to cancel it on the website. You can't cancel it using Alexa. So be aware of that. If you do take out the free trial, be aware that you need to go onto the
Looks
website
like
to
your
cancel
basket
it.
is empty.
Alexa, stop.
Plan item.
So they are a business after all, and they are trying to catch you for as much money as they can get out of you. But we don't, other than that $4.99, I don't pay for anything on it. That's the only thing I pay for, the music. And I would expect to pay for the music. Why wouldn't I expect to pay for it?
Yeah. That's good.
Yeah, very, very good. I'm just trying to think of one or two other things on there that I could suggest that are really good.
Will it do sums for you?
So yeah, okay, let's try this. Let's try something pretty complicated. Alexa, what's 67 plus 99 plus 422 plus 19?
67 plus 99 plus 422 is 588.
Wow.
Alexa, divide that by 6.
166 divided by 6 is approximately 27.6667.
Alexa, stop. So it didn't really understand that second part of the question I gave it. But yes, you can just say, you know, what's X times X times X, or
Well, I have difficulty with percentages. I could ask it that.
yeah. So we say, Alexa, what is 17 as a percentage?
From Vedan2.com, according to the definition of percentage, 17%.
Alexa, stop. I should have said, what, Alexa,
What
is 17 out of 100 as a percentage?
17 100ths as a percentage is 17%.
Yeah, but yes, you can ask it for percentages. You can ask it for cosines and all those sorts of complicated things if you want to.
I wonder if it would give you directions like the sat nav.
No, it won't, because a sat nav is based on where you are at a particular moment in time.
Oh,
This just stays in the house.
yeah. Okay.
Yeah, so it won't do that. You can, by the way, use Alexa on your smartphone. So when you're out and about, you could open up the Alexa app on your smartphone, and in there's a little button at the top. It says Ask Alexa. So you tap it, and you just ask it a question, and it will give you the answer, just like it was in your home.
Lovely. So
Yeah.
how did I get the Alexa?
The Alexa app. What smartphone do you have? Do you have an Apple phone or an Android phone?
It's a Samsung.
So it's an Android phone.
Yeah.
So on your Android phone, you go to what's called the Play Store. It's an icon on your front screen. The Play Store, and in there you just search for Amazon Alexa.
Okay.
And then you just download it to your phone, and there is a setup process to go through. It's all fairly straightforward. During that process, you need to input your Wi-Fi code, you know, the code for your Wi-Fi.
Yes.
And then when you've done that, you're pretty much set up to go. But I have got a document on that, and I'll try to include it in this when I send information out to you all. So you're going to get 3 or 4 attachments from me of varying subjects. One will be on setting up the Amazon Echo, one will be on games that you can play, one will be on 20 useful things you can do with it. And I'll try and find another 1 or 2 that I think are relevant for this.
That's lovely. On Friday, I'm having a new router. I'm switching from BT to Vodafone.
Okay.
As I can't see, I'm thinking, God, I'll never do it. Maybe I can ask Alexa to help me.
No, if you're getting a new router, all of your Wi-Fi devices, you know, that's your smartphone, your television, for example, they will all need to have the new Wi-Fi code from the Vodafone router. So if you can't do that, we have some volunteers that can come and do that for you.
Really?
Yeah.
That would be amazing.
Yeah.
On this Friday.
So so all you need to do is call into our help desk.
Yes.
And say, I'm looking for a volunteer to help me with changing my router or my broadband. And then I will arrange for someone to come out and see you and do it.
Oh, that's marvellous, Gary. Thank you.
Yeah, because it can be really frustrating, can't it? When you've changed providers, things don't always go as smoothly as you think they're going to go. And the number on the back of that box is quite small anyway. So, yes, yeah, that'd be ideal for you to do that.
Thank you very much. I will.
But do a call into the help desk and leave your name, telephone number, and address, and I will do the rest.
Thank you so much. I really
no problem. No problem.
Thank you.
Very good.
Any other questions?
Yeah, I've got one question.
Okay, Brian.
If you got an old Echo device, which I've got two. I've got the Echo Show 8.
Yeah.
And I've got the original Echo Show Dot, the original one.
Yeah.
Is there any life expectancy of the old version?
No, they should still work, Brian. They might not cope with some of the newer skills, perhaps, but they should all work. They should work perfectly well. There's no life expectancy. They may even update themselves overnight if you leave them on all the time, which of course you do. So they may even update. The Echo Show 8, I would think that would be fine. What's the other one? The Echo Show 5?
Well, the other one's just an Echo Dot. It was the original one, the first one that came out.
Yeah, I think that would work, but to be honest, it would be very tinny in its sound. So I'd probably throw it in the bin, Brian, to be honest.
Yeah.
I think I would, yeah. I think anything lower than the second generation, then it's going to sound quite poor.
Yeah. I mean, at the moment, it's only in the kitchen anyway. The Echo Show 8 now I've moved. Oh, that was the other thing, because I've moved. I've got the Echo Show Dot in the kitchen, but I've moved the Echo Show 8 into the lounge.
Yeah.
Is there a way of actually adjust? You know, when you set up these things, you say, well, I want it in the kitchen, I want it in the lounge, all that sort of thing. Is there a way of actually changing the Echo Show 8 so to say, well, look, it's in the lounge?
Yes, there is. Yeah. Shall I email you the instructions, Brian?
Brilliant. Yeah, because I've been looking on.
Yeah.
I've looked on YouTube and I still don't know how to do it.
Yeah, you can change its location. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. So it's not too difficult to do. I'll mail you the instructions. If you send me a text, Brian, just so you remind me.
Yeah.
So do them instructions for me, you know, and I'll jot them down and send them to you because.
Well,
yeah, I'm likely to forget otherwise, Brian. So do that.
Yeah, because there's two text messages I was going to send you. Obviously, that's the other one. The other one I was going to say about. The other one was about voiceover on my phone because I said I was going to message you because I need an update on my voiceover so I can have some more tuition.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So we need to get another session booked in, don't we, for that?
Yeah.
It's going to be towards the end of July now, Brian. I think so. That's not too bad. 3 or 4 weeks away.
Yeah. Cool.
Again, text me about that, and we'll get you. We need to get a driver, don't we, for you?
Brilliant. Yeah. Thank you. Yeah.
Yeah. Can I just mention? I mentioned about voices, didn't I, on here? Let's have a look at some of the voices briefly. So the current voice is the main voice that most people are familiar with, the Alexa voice. But I've changed mine at home to a New Zealand accent and a man. So I'm going to say, Alexa, change your voice.
I have a few voices to choose from. Here is the first one.
Around 100 million cups of tea are enjoyed in the UK every day.
Would you like to choose that one or hear another?
Hear another one.
On the trip, John.
Here is the second one.
Dot actions.
The current US flag was designed by a 17-year-old as a part of a school project. Wow. Would you like to choose that one or hear another?
Another.
Here is the third one.
There's an official league for rock, paper, scissors. If you want to play sometime, I'm game.
Would you like to choose that one or hear another?
Choose that one.
Okay, you're all set. I'll be the voice you hear when you speak to this device. If you'd like to change how you wake, you can also change your wake word.
So now when I use it, I'm going to get that voice instead. So let's try Alexa. What's the largest building in the world?
Measured by volume, the largest building in the world is the Boeing Everett factory, located in Washington State, USA. This airplane assembly building is over 13 million cubic meters and covers nearly 400,000 square meters. However, at 2,717 feet, the tallest building in the world is the Burj Khalifa.
So just a different voice. Now, if you've got hearing difficulties or you struggle a bit with different pitches and tones, changing the voice could actually help you understand it better. We have two different voices on our devices at home. The one in the bedroom is the voice I've just demonstrated, and the one downstairs is the typical Alexa voice. Let's see whether there's more voices. Alexa, change your voice.
I have a few voices to choose from. Here is the first one.
The current US flag was designed by a 17-year-old as a part of a school project.
Wow.
Would you like to choose that one or hear another?
Another.
Here is the second one. The kiwi is the only bird in the world with nostrils on the tip of its beak. Would you like to choose that one or hear another?
Another.
Here is the third one.
Koalas have fingerprints, and they're very similar to a human's.
Would you like to choose that one or hear another?
Choose that one.
Okay, you're all set. I'll be the voice you hear when you speak to this device.
Be unmuted or plus a button.
And I'm sorry. Altogether, there are 6 voices. There's an English
I don't have an answer for that.
Alexa, stop. There's an English
Until
male
next
and
time.
female. There's an American male and female, a New Zealand male and female. And actually, I think there might be 8 voices. I think there's Australian male and female as well. So there's a number of voices that you can have a look at and play with to get the one that sounds nicest to you. We've definitely changed ours at home, and I've changed them on a couple of the devices I've got here as well. I have got one lady's voice which is quite high pitched and a men's voice which is a bit lower pitched. And I can make it speak slower, at least I think I can. Alexa, speak slower.
Okay, I will speak at this speed from now on.
Alexa, speak faster.
Okay, I will
Alexa,
speak.
speak faster.
Okay, I will speak at this speed from now on.
Alexa, speak slower.
Okay, I will speak at this speed from now on.
Alexa, stop.
See you next time.
So in terms of the voice, there's quite a lot of flexibility there. You can change the speed, the voice itself, and the volume, all with your voice, all by telling it what to do.
I've done that when it's reading a book to ask it to go slower.
Yeah, yeah. So yes, it's quite useful, isn't it, to be able to do that.
Yeah.
The other way you can make it go slower is in the app, but you don't want to keep going into the app if you can just talk to it. So yes, I think, I don't know, there's just so much you can do with them. It's very difficult to just pick out 10 or 15 things. Do you find that with yours? Have you tried doing lots of things with yours?
No, I haven't, to tell you the truth. It's been really enlightening today. I'm going to go and enjoy it much more now.
I mean, really, just sit there and ask it questions, silly questions, and you'll be amazed what it can come up with.
Yeah.
It's really, really good. I don't think any of us use them to their full capacity, to be honest with you. We just choose a few things. And that's it.
I attended a funeral online, during the lockdown, and I got it to come up with the words of various hymns. That was really, really useful.
It is good, isn't it? It is good. And if you do your sort of like research prior to that sort of thing, you can take part in it just the same as anybody else.
Indeed.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Any final questions? And then if not, we can call it a day for this afternoon, and I can get some emails sent out to you.
The only point that I was going to raise is that I found that it's very useful. I think it's linked via the Google Calendar, so it will then read what I've got to do that day, and it will announce about 10 minutes before an appointment will come up and say, you've got to go to so and so. And I find that a very useful reminding.
It is good, isn't it? Again, that has to be set up, doesn't it? The Google Calendar. You have to have a Gmail account for that to work, or you can have iCloud. That's Apple's own calendar for that to work. It's a bit fiddly to set it up, but once it's set up, it's really, really good. You know, you say things like add an event to my calendar, and then Alexa will say to you, what's the title, and so on, and you just follow the instructions and it puts it in there for you. Another way you could get around that, you don't have to use a calendar as such. You could just say remind me to. So say you was doing a calendar entry for I don't know, you're going to church on Sunday at 10 o'clock. Rather than do a calendar entry, you could just say, remind me to go to church on Sunday at 9:50. And at 10:02, it will just remind you. So it's the same result, it's just a different way of doing it. And then you can say, what are my reminders? What are my reminders? And it will read out all your reminders to you. You can cancel them and delete them, etc. using your voice. But good point about the calendar. It's a nice feature.
Yeah, I think I might need some help with that one as well.
You can also send emails using Alexa. I haven't got it set up on my one here, but you can actually say send an email, and then Alexa will say what's the subject. You tell it the subject, and then it will say what would you like to say, and you dictate it, and it will then read it out to you and say, would you like to send it? And when you say yes, it just sends it. You know, as if you was on your computer typing it, it just does it all by voice. But I haven't got mine set up. I really must get that set up and see how it works, because that I'm sure would be very useful to a lot of people. Sending and reading emails.
Sometimes you want to send the same email to multiple recipients.
I think you can do that. I think you can do that. I think you could say something like, send an email to John, Martin and Stephen.
Yeah.
And it will do it. It just picks them up from your contacts on your phone. That's the thing. So if you've got all the contacts on your phone, that's where it gets them from.
Oh, from the phone, not from your email list. Okay.
No, from the phone. Yeah, not from your email list. So that's where it gets everything from, the contacts on your phone.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's interesting, because you said something about iCloud a minute ago.
Yeah, iCloud's for the calendar. So the calendar,
So
it can create calendar entries for you if you're using Gmail or iCloud.
Yeah, I do use iCloud. I mean, that's the interesting thing. I don't have an iPhone, but my email address is iCloud. And so that made me wonder if you could do the emails that way.
If you've got an iCloud account, which it sounds like you have, you don't necessarily have to have the iPhone.
Okay, that's interesting, isn't
It's
it?
to do with the account, the iCloud bit.
Well,
Well, I must admit, it's quite unusual not to have an iPhone or an iPad. Have you got an iPad?
Yes, I have.
So that's where it's getting the iCloud from. So it's getting it from there. So the contacts. And where did you get your Amazon Alexa app? Is that on the iPad as well?
No, I don't have an app. My daughter gave me it for Christmas one year.
Oh, so she'd have done it on her phone, wouldn't she?
Yeah, I guess she does.
Yeah, yeah. So what you would need to do is, next time your daughter sees you, is to put the app onto your tablet and sign into it with your Amazon password and username.
Has left the meeting alert.
Can you say that again? I didn't quite
Yeah,
follow.
yeah. So you need to get the Alexa app.
Yeah.
Alexa, stop.
See you soon.
Put onto your iPad.
Okay.
And then you can sign into that app using your Amazon username and password. And then ensure that all the email addresses that you want to use are on your iPad. Because you know you can put in the name, the first name, last name, telephone number, etc. You need to fill in the email address part. And then it will use the contacts on that iPad.
Oh, that's amazing.
To do it. So it's something your daughter will have to help you with.
Yeah, fair enough.
But once that's done, it should be seamless. It should work straight away.
That would be amazing.
Yeah, yeah. And again, if you can't get it to work, our volunteers can help with that.
Thank you very much.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, everybody. Unless there's any final questions, I think we'll call it a day there. You can always contact me at Site for Surrey. Our telephone number is 01372 377 701, or you can look at my email address on the Site for Surrey website. My email address is geady@siteforsurrey.org.uk. You can email me direct, and I'll reply to you as soon as I can. Okay.
You stop video, Dropbox 177.
So I'm just about to stop the meeting, everyone. So thank you for coming along.
/0.
And
That was very, very informative and enjoyable. Thank you.
good. I'm glad it's been useful. We will put a recording of this meeting onto our YouTube channel, and that'll be available in mid-July. So if you wanted to re-watch it or let a friend or a family member know so they can watch it, then please go ahead and let them know.
The meeting alert.
Okay. So from me, it's tatty bye.
Thank you.
Thanks very much.